want to focus on one figure in the Passion narrative, Barabbas. I was working on my homily, and oftentimes we preachers will get together and say, hey, nothing's coming. And I decided to celebrate Mass with Father Shea last night. And this place right here, this area right here, I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I don't sit there with a pad of paper and write homilies, because so much comes to me in this place. Barabbas, he's guilty. In the Passion of the Christ, the movie, the figure Barabbas is standing over the people with Pontius Pilate as being judged with Jesus, and he is known as a murderer. He's rebellious. In other parts of Scripture, it says that he was a robber and he was a convicted criminal, a prisoner. And he's standing there with Jesus, and Pilate's saying, well, which one do I release? And Barabbas is obstinate. His teeth are all gross, and he's sticking his tongue out and making noises and taunting the Roman soldiers. And he's let go. And Pilate has said twice in this gospel, Jesus is innocent. The centurion says, this man is innocent. The thief on the right said, this man has done nothing wrong. He's not guilty. But Barabbas is. And as Barabbas is released, after he stuck his tongue out at the Roman soldiers, as he was obstinate, as he was taunting them, as he's getting ready to step down from the area of the seat of judgment, he looks back at Jesus, who is scourged with a look of utter guilt. That man isn't guilty. I am, and they're letting me go because of that man. Throughout Lent, I've been watching programs. I adjust my television viewing to documentaries, religious programming, these kinds of things, rather than just regular TV programs. And I've watched a lot of programs that point to Barabbas as the one who is guilty. I watched a program on serial killers, most especially Ted Bundy. I watched a program on Auschwitz and all those who were guilty, the SS. Some are still out there free. I watched a very long miniseries on the Vietnam War. And when I think about the guilty in the Vietnam War, I'm not thinking about our troops and soldiers. They carry their own burdens. But I think about the North and Ho Chi Minh and his agenda, and the president of the North who pushed that agenda so much that he usurped the rights of the people in the South, killing hundreds of thousands. The NVA and the cruelty of the Viet Cong. The guilty. And to round that out, I mean, this wasn't a conscious thing on my part. It just happened, and now I look back and reflect. I watched Unplanned. Guilty. All of these folks guilty of the destruction of innocent human life. Guilty. And lastly, I think of myself. Guilty. And he took my place. He took my place. I'm like Barabbas. I've got a history. I've got a past. I've messed up. But he takes my place. Friends, as we enter Holy Week, we remember that entry of Jesus into Jerusalem to accomplish the Paschal mystery, his passion, death, and resurrection, to save us, to take our place on the cross. We think about those people laying the palm branches and the olive branches and their cloaks on the street. Instead of that, St. Andrew of Crete says, no, let us prostrate ourselves before the Lord who took our place. We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you because by your holy cross you have redeemed the world.